The terror must be maintained, or the empire is doomed. Welcome to the Defending Football Show. We are so back. Thank you guys so much for watching. The DC Defenders beat the Birmingham Stallions. Stallions were 7.5-point favorites, and yet DC takes them down in Rowdy Audi. The Beer Snake is so back, guys. I am so glad we have some spring football, and if you live in the cities and you're not going to the games, shame on you. Obviously, this is my DC Defenders recap. At the end of the weeks, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a quick power rankings and then predictions for the next week of games. Guys, I could not believe it. I thought when Reggie Barlow left this team, we did not have a shot. I really thought that was going to totally mess up our vibe in the locker room. And what did it do? It might have done the opposite. It galvanized the boys. Shout out to Shannon Harris. I hope he's watching this. You are the man. Now, obviously, don't get complacent, but wow, what a victory for Shannon Harris. His first ever game being a head coach, and he takes down the 3-time defending champs. That is extremely impressive, and honestly, let's just talk about Shannon Harris for a second. He stepped up into that role and took control of the game. I did not see many mistakes, if any, from him, and the team looked very prepared because of it. And I do want to say that challenge that he had at the end of the game, I will never fault him for that challenge ever. I would have actually done the exact same thing, and I was screaming at my TV, challenge it, Shannon, challenge it. And he did it. We lost the challenge because Dean Blandino is blind, but that was a good challenge, and it should have been a hold. So big shout out to you, Shannon Harris. Honestly, I love you, man. Thank you so much for giving us this fantastic memory as DC Defenders fans. I appreciate you so much. Made my entire weekend, my birthday weekend. Thank you, man. Moving on to another coach, Greg Double G Williams. This dude went absolutely nuclear on Magoo. Bro was sending blitzes, stunts everywhere, confusing Magoo, playing man-to-man. The only thing that Magoo was able to do was run around a little bit. And yeah, we should clean that up, but honestly, 8 sacks! 8 sacks! Absolutely dominated their offensive line. Now, we're going to find out later in the season if that's more on the DC front 7, or if it's a combination of that plus the O-line for the Stallions not being good this year. We're going to find out. But damn, people are really trying to discount the DC Defenders on what they did today. Are you kidding me? You cannot discount beating the defending champs, the Stallions, man. Nobody beats them. They don't lose, I'm telling you. And to lose like that is absolutely embarrassing. They couldn't take it in Rowdy Audi, baby. I want to shout out the entire front 7. Actually, you know what? Here's everyone that got a sack. Anthony Hines had 2 sacks. Derek Roberson is disgusting. 2 sacks. That dude was running circles around people. Joe Wallace with a sack. Andre Mintz with a sack. Bryce Thompson and Kyle Phillips. And DeAndre Baker should have had a sack, but he got a face mask, so we could have had 9. To mention Baker, he almost had 2 picks, but he had a very nice interception. Finally, bro's getting interceptions, as he should. He is a fantastic corner in this league. Love that guy. Love the entire defense right now. We just played with our hair on fire. Greg Williams got to be feeling nicey right now, baby. But before we move on from defense, I want to say, Alex Magoo, welcome to the UFL, baby, where you actually have to travel to the city you're playing in and play the DC Defenders. We made him look terrible. 10 for 23, 89 yards, a touchdown, which was off a pick play, and then 1 terrible interception as well. And I believe he had under 20 passing yards if you include all the sack yardage. So we obliterated him today. And I mean, you could tell down on the field. I got nothing against the guy. He's a funny guy. I like him. But man, he was beaten down and pissed. Moving on to the offense. You know, we only scored 18 points, so there's a lot left on the bone, and I hope Shannon Harris and Fred Keiss can get a little bit more out of the offense next week and build off of it. But there's a lot of things to build off of, and I'm very happy about it. Last year, we couldn't get a run game going, and I felt like everyone was keying in on the pass. Now, we got enough of a run game going today to where it kept the Stallions off balance a little bit. My main concern was we were at too many 3rd and longs, And somehow we were converting him, so I'll take it. But against other teams, you cannot pull that off. I'm surprised the Stallions let us pull that off. Ta'amu did well, but not perfect. He went 17 for 37, which is not a great completion percentage at all. But a lot of that was tip passes at the line, which we need to obviously clean up. 211 yards leads the league, so there you go. And 1 touchdown and 1 pick. The pick, I don't really know if I put that on Ta'amu. I mean, I think Carlos Davis, I think it was, read the screen. Not much you could do there. It's a timing type of throw. I don't know. There was a few throws where it should have been picked off by Ta'amu, but we got lucky there, so I'll take it. But he had some very nice throws as well, so I want to really give props to Ta'amu. Great job, Ta'amu. Obviously, we got to clean it up and be more efficient, but I like it. That pass to Mickens on the sideline before halftime was disgusting. And I want to shout out the receivers, Mickens, Roland, Ty Scott. All the receivers played well. Got to replace Kelvin Harmon there, and I think Mickens might be the dude. Running backs played very solid. Abram Smith, obviously, he's coming off a torn ACL, guys. You can't expect him to have a 200-yard game, first game back, you know. He had around 30 to 40 yards in that range, I think 37. But Smith looked pretty good. He didn't look fantastic, but we got to ease him in a little bit. He will get going by the end of the year, I guarantee it. And then Deion Jackson, surprisingly, very good complementary piece, very explosive piece to our offense, I think. Definitely could use him in the passing game, I think. And then, but he has a burst to him, and I like him a lot. I also want to shout out Matt McCrane for making all of his field goals, especially the clutch ones at the end. I heard he was sick a few days before the game. So there you go. Here's his Jordan flu game for you. But man, shout out to everybody on the DC Defenders. Thank you guys so much for making my weekend. I mean, I can't believe it. But we're not done. This was not the peak of our season, and it better not be. Because what I've seen from this team is that they got fight and they got hunger. Last year, we were beaten down, and I feel like we couldn't get over that mental hurdle of that week 1 catastrophe. And I feel like we were just on the wrong side of games we shouldn't have been on. This year, we have a chance to really cement ourselves early, get a good record early, and be able to cruise into the playoffs if we can. We really have a chance. We really do, guys. We got to be on our P's and Q's. Shannon Harris, do not get complacent. I know you won't. We play the Boats this week. Super big game. We have to win. Go 2-0. It's in Rowdy Audi, I believe, again. They have to come up here. Do not let them beat you in Rowdy Audi. You start 2-0, and the playoffs are legit already in sight if you can just stay the course. Going 1-1 puts you at risk because you play the Hawks in week 3, and I think they're good. They're beatable. I think they're beatable for sure. But in case you drop that game, I'd rather be 2-0 going into that game than 1-1 for sure. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the biggest upset in the UFL. I'll have my power rankings at the end of the week, so you'll see where DC's at. It's not 1. I know it's not 1. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, of course. If you love the UFL, baby, come on. So for the love of football, defend football, baby. The terror must be maintained, or the empire is doomed. The terror must be maintained, or the empire is doomed. This is ridiculous. The terror. The terror must be maintained. The terror must be maintained, or the empire is doomed. Alright, that's good enough.